followed a blue butterfly that flitted over a bubbling brook and under the arch of a weeping willow. The Great Park Adventure. In a cozy house with yellow curtains lived a girl named Diana. She had a spirit as bouncy as her dark curls and eyes that sparkled like midnight stars. Beside her sat Cheddar, a Persian cat with fur like a toasted marshmallow and eyes as green as spring leaves. "Stay inside today, my little explorer," her mother, Alara, said with a gentle smile. "The wind is whispering of rain, and the park is too big for a small girl and a smaller cat." But Diana's curiosity was a restless bird. As soon as her mother turned to the kitchen, Diana whispered, "Did you hear that, Cheddar? The swings are calling our names." Cheddar let out a soft melodic meow, which Diana took as a yes. They crept toward the back door, their footsteps as silent as falling feathers. With a soft click they were out, heading toward the forbidden green heart of the city. The park was a kingdom of wonders. Golden sunlight filtered through the leaves, dancing on Diana's fair skin. "Look, Cheddar, the world is much bigger than our living room," she cried, running through a field of swaying daisies. Cheddar bounded after her, his fluffy tail waving like a flag of surrender to the joy of the afternoon. They felt like giants in a land of tiny adventures. They followed a blue butterfly that flitted over a bubbling brook and under the arch of a weeping willow. "Just a little further," Diana laughed, her dark eyes wide with excitement. They climbed over mossy stones and crawled through tunnels of thick ivy. The air smelled of damp earth and magic, and for a while, the path behind them simply vanished into the shadows of the tall, ancient trees. Suddenly, the golden light turned to a dusty purple. The wind, just as her mother had warned, began to whistle a chilly tune. Diana stopped. The path looked different now. The trees seemed to have moved their branches to block her way. "Cheddar?" she whispered, her voice trembling like a leaf. "Which way is the yellow curtain house?" Cheddar huddled against her ankle, his green eyes scanning the deepening gloom. "Fear is a cold shadow, and it grew longer as the first stars appeared." Diana sat at the base of a great oak tree, clutching Cheddar to her chest. "I should have listened," she sobbed softly into his soft fur. "The park is too big, and we are too small." Cheddar licked her hand with his sandpaper tongue, purring a low, rhythmic song to keep the silence at bay. Through the mist, a steady beam of light cut the darkness. A tall figure appeared, wearing a navy blue uniform that shimmered under the flashlight's glow. It was Officer Sterling. He knelt down, his face kind and creased with a reassuring smile. "Lost explorers usually find their way when they look for the light," he said softly. Diana looked up, her tears drying as she saw the silver badge on his chest. Officer Sterling picked up the flashlight and led the way. He told Diana stories of other brave children who had found their way home. Cheddar walked proudly beside him, occasionally rubbing against the officer's polished boots. "You have a very brave cat here," Officer Sterling remarked. "He kept your heart warm when the night got cold." Diana held the officer's hand tightly, feeling the safety of the world returning. When they reached the edge of the park, a familiar silhouette was waiting under a street lamp. It was Alara, her face a map of worry and relief. Diana let go of the officer's hand and ran as fast as her legs could carry her. "Mama?" she cried. Alara dropped to her knees, opening her arms wide to catch her daughter. The porch light of the yellow curtain house felt like the warmest sun in the universe. Back inside, the scent of warm cocoa filled the air. Diana looked at her mother, her voice small but certain. "I'm sorry, Mama. I thought I knew the way, but the world is very big without you." Alara kissed the top of her curly head and then stroked Cheddar's green-eyed gaze. "The world is big," Alara agreed, "but our love is bigger, and it will always lead you home." Cheddar curled up in his favorite spot by the radiator, finally warm and safe. He watched as Diana tucked herself into bed, the lessons of the day resting quietly in her heart. The park was still there, vast and wild, but for tonight, the best adventure was simply being home. Diana whispered a final, "I love you," to the shadows, and soon, the only sound was the rhythmic purring of a very tired Persian cat.